The lesson.
Oh yeah.
When I think of Melbourne, I think of the different camps.
Yep.
The ones that come to my mind are Obese, Nuff Said, Uncut. They're the main three.
Yep.
I guess, what's your take on the impact that those three camps have had on hip-hop in Australia and Melbourne?
I think it's great what they've done, you know, because I'd be dead if I was doing it just me. You know, back in the day when I was doing stuff, I think it was great that more good producers are out there, more good labels out there helping, you know, the growth. And when I say good labels, I mean, you know, good labels that are actually getting behind the artist. You know, like Obese did so much for Australian hip hop, you know. I remember when they started, and I remember the store, OB, you know, and it's changed to Obese Records. Used to be friends with him, the Canadian brother.
Yeah,
He had
wow.
a store the big as this little area here. I got photos still of that.
Yeah, it
you
used
know?
to be a skateboarding store.
Yeah, but before that, when we ran a corner in a little, he had the back end of a little shop, and he had about the space of, you know, 2 meters, 3 meters by 2 meters, if that.
Yeah, wow.
And yeah, I still got photos of that. You know, it was great, and it was just selling vinyl independently, and yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a while ago now, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah. That store was there probably a year before, 2 years before they even went around the corner. So from where they are.
I guess for someone that's been around for, you know, as long as you have, with all the different events that you've been to, people that you've worked with, associated yourself with over, you know, however many years, are there any like real standout, you know, memories that you have, whether it was live gigs, studio sessions, anything that's sort of real memorable moments for you?
It's a lot. I have no regrets, you know. I've learned a lot through it all, that's for sure. But I don't know. I've never really looked at anything as like the best of the best. You know, for me, highlights in my life have been, you know, one of the biggest things that helped me get to where I was obviously going to New York, because that put me in touch with, you know, this is what's really it is. This is what real hip hop is, and this is what, you know, had so much influence on me. That's why when I came back, the whole Zulu mentality had helped the community, you know, and build studio and with Dean and that, and get things going and just grow with it, because that had such an impact on my life, you know, meeting my mentors. I mean, to sit there, you go to New York, and I was in the hotel, and there was this brother at the counter arguing with the manager. He couldn't get to his room, and the manager didn't believe that he was staying there. And I went over with my DJ Cash and my girlfriend at the time, and it was Grandmaster Kaz. And I said to the manager, no, he's with us, you know, because I knew he was attending the NMS as well. And he goes, oh, thanks, brother. You know, it's the first time I met Kaz, and we spoke. And so we let him come stay in our room with us. And Cash slept on the floor, he slept on Cash's bed. And before that, he went off, Cash and myself went with him a few blocks up the road in New York, and went to a pizza parlor. We sat there and just talked for like an hour just about old school Cold Crush tapes and things like that. And he was shocked that we knew about things like that, you know. But we did our research, we did our history, and we loved it. We had tapes. My DJ at the time, Cash, he'd come back from London, and he got all these tapes from London and that of all Cold Crush things in the early days, in the 1990, I think it was. And yeah, we just listened, and for Kaz to sit there and listen to us say some of the rhymes and what we knew, blew him away. And he, you know, a mark of respect there, you know. And I remember we went back to our hotel room. Kaz was tired, he laid on the bed there, and he goes, oh, you got tunes? And I go, yeah, we've got a demo tape. And I had a demo tape, and it's really bad. But, you know, and Cash is like, yeah, play it. And he put it in the Walkman. He had a little Walkman with the headphones on. Kaz put it on, and Kaz like, oh yeah, this is cool, you know. And I can sit there thinking back now, I'm thinking, he was just patronising us, you know, because it was probably the wackest shit he's ever heard. But he was just being nice, I think. He played our demo, and then he slept. And then the next morning, I remember the banging on the door, because he contacted some people, and banging on the door. And then I'm in bed, my girlfriend's in bed, Cash gets up off the floor, opens the door. opens the door, in walks Ice-T, Africa Islam, Bronx Style Bob, all these people Everlast in the room to pick up Kaz, and we're in bed and like all these, you know, that to me that's a highlight. But that was years ago. That was 1992, July, I think it was.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
that was at the NMS. That's when I remember that MS when Eazy-E was on the talk on the speaking thing, and Tim Dog walked in, and then I saw Eazy-E stand up and walk straight out. So yeah, that was that time, that period when you know, Tim Dog was out for Eazy-E and all that fuck Compton.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a great NMS, that's for sure. Yeah, one of the memorable moments of my life. But that was probably one of the best moments because I came back with so much motivation and influence that really drove to release the record that went on forward to do the studio and where I am today. And it all started from that. Well, actually started from before that when I was in this garage with my mate, but we weren't thinking big time. We're just doing bedroom demos at a couple of gigs here and there. But this was like that moment when I went to New York. I got a taste of, you know, the big guys, the big boys, and I was like, wow, you know, this is what I've really got to step the game up, you know, and came back, and that's what changed my life.
Yeah, word.
That's a bit of a highlight. But there were many highlights for me personally. On personal highlights would be like also seeing Bice's album come out, Deadly Seas album come out, Snuff's album come out. Who else? A few others. Even doing the Curse of Dialect track for them, you know. Just all bits and pieces, releases. I mean, it was good. That record there, when I released that, it was like, I always said to myself, well, if I died tomorrow, I've got something, you know, I've got a release and I've been in New York. Don't even wanted to do, I'm fixed, you know, die tomorrow, it's done. But yeah, fortunately I've been lucky to live a long life so far and do a lot of things and help others. And that's basically like when we started Zulu Nation in 2005 onwards. I got involved to help, and then eventually I ended up taking over the chapter, and then we took a hiatus for a bit, and then went back and did it again, and that's when Peril and a lot of old school cats joined up as well. Just people I thought that were, you know, more influential in sharing knowledge and history. Because when Zulu first started the chapter in 2005, it was a lot of young brothers and sisters in it that were more b-boy, b-girl affiliated. And there was no real longevity history or anything they've got to come. They were great learners, knowledge, students, etc. But we had no one in there other than myself and we had Solomon. Solomon was in there too, to share knowledge with these and mentor the youth, you know. So I felt after we took the hiatus and that, we rebuild it with some people that, you know, have got some substance to offer to our community, and it can put in an offer, you know. Yeah, think selflessly. That's what it comes down to, you know, and share.
The lesson. 927. Oh yeah.